till I'm on top.
Yo,
Yeah.
no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let it...
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm back. Today we are going to go through kind of together how to get through this process of the European mount. It's my first time, so I know people do it differently. Today I'm going to try to pick what I think is kind of the easiest way, and then we'll go from there. If it doesn't work, I can change it next time I get a deer. So let's get right into it. This is my deer from this year. Okay, and before you get started, definitely want to get some gloves. So I got kind of everything I want kind of sitting out here. I got gloves. And this is going to be a multiple day process. I'm not in a rush for this. I've got to work here in a couple hours. I've got stuff going on tomorrow. So I'm going to do a little bit today. I'm going to do a little bit tomorrow. And then when it gets down to the whole whitening the skull, that's going to take a little time and a couple days to process that white on that skull. So we'll get there. We'll try to take it step by step. I'll fast forward through some of the slow parts. So that's, get to the good stuff. I do also have a handful of knives, because I'm gonna be honest, I don't know how many of them are sharp and which one's gonna work the best. I don't do the best job keeping my knives sharp. I do right before the season, but sometimes I don't know if I've used them and never sharpened them or not. So we're gonna try every one probably. If one dull's out, we'll go to the next. Start with this guy here. All right, so the first step is getting all this skin and a little bit of the muscle and the tissue underneath off. Also, you're gonna have to break that jaw off, so you just have the upper portion of the skull and jaw. So that's what we're gonna work on mainly tonight, is getting all this skin off around the burrs and everything. Now this deer it's not frozen. It's gonna be a little bit softer of a state. I don't know if that's good or bad. We're gonna find out. So let's just Oh, that's the other thing I wanted to tell you. See that guy right there? You check yourself immediately for these ticks. Whenever I got this guy, I had about 3 or 4 on me that afternoon. And it looks like there's still a handful of them on there. to try to take some rags here and just it's creepy. Some new gloves on. Got a little bit more left to pick at it, but as you can see, so far the mistakes I think I've made, this bone right here, I wasn't sure about it and I think I broke it. Still got to get these burrs, clean up the rest of it, but it'll be ready for the pot next. All right, so for the most part, got most of it trimmed up. Still some there, but I'm gonna boil it to let a lot of that heat up and fall off and scrape some of the rest after I get it boiled. So we're gonna boil it in a pot like this over a flame. Got some water. I'm gonna put some Dawn. I'm gonna put some Dawn dish soap in with it. That'll help get a lot of the grease, cut some of the fat and everything, help a lot of this come off. And then I'll keep checking it maybe every hour, pull it out, try to clean it off, scrape it off a little bit. And then after that, we're gonna get out a pressure washer. So I'm gonna light it up. So we're about 40 minutes in and I can see a lot of the chunks coming out, so I'm betting it's breaking down the inside and peeling it off, so that's good. I'm gonna let it go for a little while longer, pull it off and do the first round of pressure washing. See if that gets most of it, if not all of it, off. All right, it's been an hour. I'm gonna do the first round pressure washing. I'm gonna let this thing cool down for a minute though. I'll give it just a couple minutes to cool down. All right, we're gonna use the 40 nozzle first. See how that works. I think I'm gonna bump up. It's taking that membrane off, which is good, but I'm gonna go to the 25. All right, I'm gonna boil it a little bit longer. Some of this stuff is still hanging on, but most of it's coming right off. So I'm gonna put it back in for maybe another half hour. All right, it's been about another half hour. All right. As you can see, most of it must have come off, but I am gonna get my knife, cut a few spots, pull a few spots out. There's still some in that cavity up there, and that ought to at least finish us up for that. So an hour, took it out, pressure washed it, put it in for another half hour, took it out, pressure washed it, and like I said, now I just got to do a little bit of picking, and I think it'll be done. All right, so overall, pretty happy. I did a little bit of picking after that second pressure wash, just getting some cartilage, and there's still a tiny bit of membrane, but overall I'm satisfied, I'm happy. One thing I will say is these bones right here, they're very brittle. Whenever you heat it, they're very brittle. I think I can glue that and it'll be fine, but you barely bump them and they'll snap right off. So just heads up whenever it comes to that. But other than that, I'm going to clean up the area, let this drip dry a little bit, glue those pieces on, and then we'll put our whitening paste on. All right. Next step, I glued these pieces on here. Hopefully they stay. Next, you're gonna get this Salon Care 40 volume. It'll clear all BW2. It's like a whitener. I'm just gonna try and mix it in the cup with this long Allen wrench rod. I don't know exactly how much to put in, but we're going to try it out. Now we're just gonna put like a quarter, not even a quarter of a cup. This was $10. It's 32 ounces, and this was $5. Heard this stuff's pretty strong, so we'll see. I'm just gonna mix a little over half, maybe 3/4. I don't know if you need it all or not, but all right. Just gonna get a little paintbrush. I'm gonna put the rest in. I don't know if it doesn't feel Just gonna put the rest in, see if that changes anything. I'm gonna get one more bags, just because usually you can't find one that doesn't have a hole. I'm just gonna cover it up. And then we're just gonna put it inside, let it sit for 24 hours, see what it looks like. All right, so after 24 hours, I checked on the skull and it still had some solution left on it. So I decided to put it back in the bag and just let it sit for a little while longer. So it's been about a day and a half, checked it again, and there's just a tiny bit, which I think that you could probably just kind of take a damp rag and wet and wipe off. But overall, this is what we got. I mean, I am super happy. I am super happy. I mean, first time doing it. I think it looks pretty darn good. You know, there's definitely a few mistakes here and there, but you know, like I said, first time, I'm super thrilled how it came out. I did make a mistake. I think I got a little, either the bleach in the bag kind of came up and got on the horns right here. I think it also kind of got on the horns right there. So that was a mistake, but like I said, it's mine. It's okay. So these clips here, you can just take your mount, and there it is. I'll probably take that and put it down in the basement with my other ones. But overall, pretty good.